Are you going to be involved in frontline activism? Are you going to be involved in the Black Lives Matter movement? Not just talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, but actually attending Black Lives Matter protests, because numbers are important to show, politicians that this is something that the people are actually craving for. That's one of the next phases that I think every single, it doesn't matter what size they are, every single streamer, content creator, everyone, and not just content creators and streamers, like just people in everyday life. Are you simply saying socialism's good? It's where the world should go. It's a better system. It's more equitable. It'll achieve better outcomes. It seems to in every single time that we've explored true versions of it. Great. But do you care enough about that to actually enact political change? Or is it a brand? No. Today we're talking about someone we don't often talk about on this show. Trainwrecks. If you are not familiar with the extended universe of the Twitch world, you may not have known this individual before, but this is Trainwrecks. He hosts the highly popular Scuffed podcast on the Twitch stream. He's also known for a handful of things. Amongst them, he has been tarnished frequently with the label of misogyny for his takes. He is one of the inventors of the Squad W, which is, of course, a code for double standards towards men that is not experienced by women on the platform. He also was embroiled in controversy recently during the Bernie Sanders. Can't even pronounce his name anymore. That's how much that race really affected me. That presidential election was just, it shook me to my core. But anyways, the Bernie Sanders, he endorsed Bernie Sanders for president, which of course had a lot of people confused, similar to how when Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders for president, even more people were confused. And now recently, he's put out what he considers his magnum opus on socialism. So I wanted to take a quick look to see what Trainwrecks has to say about the socialism.
I am exhausted. I don't think I've been this productive for like 5 years. Like, I'm talking wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., meeting, appointment, another meeting, take my car across town to get it shipped to another state. I just got home like an hour and a half ago or some shit, bro. Like, I was gonna pass the out, but there's no option for that because my computer gets shipped out tomorrow, which means I have to stream tonight for our last stream in Texas for a while at least. We'll be back. Right?
This isn't actually that dated. It's part of the aesthetic. He's always got the Christmas trees and the Christmas lights. It's not from December or anything.
Right? We'll be back. But I am fucking fried. It's absolutely crazy. And to those couple of you in chat, I know some of you say it to bait, good for you, but man, to some of you guys, it really triggers the out of me. Like, you look coked out. Listen, you fucking virgin antisocial fucking clown. You don't know what the coked out looks like, okay? Just because your mom comes home with 3 different dudes every fucking night to make a quick dime to feed you doesn't mean you know what the coked out means, dickhead. This does not look coked out. You understand? You want an example of coked out? It's literally XQC every stream every day. That's coked out. This is something like heroined out or something like that. That's what this is. This is Percocet. This is Oxycontin. This is not fucking coked out. So if you're going to make a fucking drug reference, at least get it the fuck right, you anti-social Minecraft 12-year-old fucks. Holy pissing me off. Already got me fucking back. Already got me back fucking what? First fucking stream back 3 days in? Shameless, bro. You look coked out like shit. Shameless, bro. Absolutely crazy. Bro, I was in the shower on a positive note. Dude, I was in the shower, bro. Listen, I thought of the most genius shit. Like, I could see this quote being written down, immortalized, and told or like lived by in like 500 years if we survive, right? You ready for this? I thought about this today, right? Oh my God. I was in the shower when I thought of this. I was like, holy f, I gotta say it, and copyright this shit like by saying it live. Are you ready? Socialism without action is just another form of capitalism. Think about that.
He's right. I feel like doing that Harrison Ford meme. It's true, all of it. All of it. But hold on, let's just entertain this for 2 more seconds.
That is some fucking Gandhi shit. Think about that. You can question mark that all you want, but if you think about it, it is the most on point thing in the world, bro. I thought about it in the shower randomly. I was taking a shower. I don't know where it came from. I think I got dropped off by this guy. He like just moved here from Africa, and he was like talking in the car. He was my Uber driver, and he was talking to me and just kind of going on about how he's just, working Uber so he can save up money so he could fly back to Africa once the COVID stuff ends and, just see his family. He got like emotional, just like really, like I could just tell, just good dude, fucking great vibes. And yeah, I asked him how much the plane ticket was, and with like the place he needs to go and the clearance he needs, it was like $1,600 with like.
Okay, before we get too deep down the rabbit hole of this story, I just want to explain for a second, and I don't know if this is what his intent was, but this is my interpretation of that. Socialism without action is just another form of capitalism, which, is not exactly what I would consider Gandhi shit. Gandhi shit is basically getting like 4 or 5 enemas a day and then saying a whole bunch of N-words. That's kind of Gandhi shit. At the same time, though, here's the idea. So you become a streamer. You become a Twitch streamer, say like myself. You become popular. All of a sudden, you go from having like 20 to 30 viewers to having hundreds of viewers every single day. You get to a point, and again, like myself, where you suddenly have your needs met. All right, because the most important thing any of you have to do if you're trying to be a content creator, first and foremost, because we do live in a society, TM, is make sure that you're housed, you're clothed, you're fed. Once you've met those things, and then you're living comfortably, what's the next step? Do you then start to amass as much personal wealth as possible, and then at the same time use your platform to say, socialism's good, we should all be socialists? Now, I'm personally not going to turn my work into a worker cooperative, because doing so would give me much less personal wealth, which I can just amass right now by hiring people to do all my work for me. See, like I could hire a whole bunch of people to do all my editing for me and never actually give them any ownership in the company itself or in the Serfs brand or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I want to keep amassing as much personal wealth as possible. Or are you going to try and use your platform and the power that you've gained to start to enact change in the world, which I think is that kind of balance that everyone should have to meet with at some point in their careers. Like I'm starting to really grapple with that idea, because I do actually want to have effective political change in the world. I do actually want to move not only the Overton window, but actually have both politics and direct action start to enact leftist change in the real world. So how do you battle that? Like all the criticisms people can levy against Cenk or Kyle Kalinske, I think you have to also take a little bit of like a step back and realize what was their purpose with, say, the Justice Democrats. Like there was 2 people at the height of their careers. They had amassed a ton of personal wealth, and then both of them decidedly were like, we want to form a political body that starts to push politics, specifically the Democrats in the US, further to the left. We want to start a progressive wing of Democrats in the United States. And that progressive wing of Democrats has given us the people that a lot of people now fawn over and consider to be like the heroes of leftist politics, your AOCs, your Ilhan Omars, right? Rashida Tlaib's. All of them came from that idea that we're going to put and pool a whole bunch of money because we actually don't just want to talk about politics. We want to enact and affect change in the real world. So that is something I think that is actually worth criticizing. And obviously you can tell that I'm also battling this in myself. Like at what point does your stream or show grow? Like you have to first, again, take care of yourself. That's first and foremost. Everyone do that. Look after yourselves. Secondly, you have to grow to a point where you actually have an audience and a platform. You know, I think I'm getting there. It's kind of like been the goal. If I could just hover around that 1K Andy, I think I've got enough of a voice to use that. But then on top of which, are you then going to enact change? Not just political change, because political change is important. I'm 100% for, getting the NDP more power in Canada, depending on which NDP and political party it is. But at the same time, are you also going to be invested in political movements, direct action, land back, the Indigenous Children's Reservation Survivor Society, things like that? Are you going to be involved in frontline activism? Are you going to be involved in the Black Lives Matter movement? Not just talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, but actually attending Black Lives Matter protests, because numbers are important to show, politicians that this is something that the people are actually craving for. That's one of the next phases that I think every single, it doesn't matter what size they are, every single streamer, content creator, everyone, and not just content creators and streamers, like just people in everyday life. Are you simply saying socialism's good? It's where the world should go. It's a better system. It's more equitable. It'll achieve better outcomes. It seems to in every single time that we've explored true versions of it. Great. But do you care enough about that to actually enact political change? Or is it a brand? Is because like at the end of the day, bread tube, left tube, whatever you want to call it, progressive tube, it's a market. Right? It's a market that a lot of people have found out about. It's very, very, it was very, very niche a couple of years ago and is changing and evolving like all things do on the internet. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately a market, you know? And it's not a market necessarily that every person who's joined it has been like, well, I can't wait to be super successful as the next H-bomber guy. But it's definitely something in which there is a large pool of people who are looking for that kind of content. And that drives both creators in what they create and people who are searching for that in what they search for. And the feedback loop continues.
Like everything. So I just gave him 2K. And he just started crying on the spot. And I was taking a shower and that just popped in my head, right? It's like, I'm a capitalist with like socialist intentions. And then I thought of the opposite, right? I was trying to think of what the opposite was. Because at first I couldn't think of what I was. Because I always just say I'm a capitalist, right? But realistically, like there's no shot like I can be a capitalist. Like there's no way. I'm pretty sure my money out is more than my money in, right? I'd be smacked up the head by a fucking capitalist, right? But what the fuck are you doing? So I wasn't out.
So he doesn't understand exactly what these terms mean, and I think this is kind of just a large part due to the way the conservatives have kind of started to tarnish all these words and terms, and so they've lost all meaning. So the idea, if you were a socialist versus a capitalist, it comes down to whether or not you were exploiting other people's labor. Ultimately, like if you are a true capitalist, you are going to be the owner of capital, and that you're going to exploit others through that system. It's not, are you taking in less money than you, or are you giving away more money than you take in, right? That would under my proper definition consider you to be generous. That's an incredible, like I don't want to disparage someone who just gave an Uber driver $2,000. That's a great fucking thing. Like, good on you. I've never done that. I've never given it like, I don't have just $2,000 lying around to give an Uber driver. But I've never given an Uber driver $2,000. So that is a very great and wonderful thing. But that by definition doesn't suddenly make him a socialist. But I see what he's reaching for here. And the idea being that, are you a socialist in just brand and name only, right? Socialist TM kind of is the idea. Are you telling everyone that, yeah, I'm for socialism, I'm for an alternative to capitalism, but at the same time, are you actually trying to enact that change in the real world?
I was in the shower thinking about these things. I think that's how it came up. It was some shit like that. But I'm telling you, if you think about that, right? Socialism without action is just another form of capitalism. If you think about that, right? If you understand that, right? Because if you just preach it and you talk about it, you're making money off of it. You're gaining popularity by like the poor and the average, right? But if you don't follow through with any action and give a piece of yourself, give something that kind of follows through with everything, then it's just another form of capitalism, right? It's a business model. And if you think about that really deeply, I think that's a quote where if you really understand it, I'm telling you, this shit's gonna be said in 500 years. No fucking cap. You fucking, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, but I'll be honest. He's got a point. He's got a point. All right. And I'm not saying right now, please, everyone go do a deep dive into Trainwrecks and enjoy every one of Trainwrecks pieces of content. No, it's just problematic shit all over the place there. This is not a stunning endorsement of Trainwrecks. But what is important is to take away that one key element. So are you a socialist in just TM, in brand alone, right? It's like, do you go on your streams? Do you wear a Bernie Sanders shirt and did you talk about how AOC is McQueen and all that, or are you actually trying to change the world?
So Son is a capitalist. I mean, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 mods from now on. Anytime we have like 5 or 6 crossover viewers that try to create drama, whenever a streamer talks about anything at all, just permaban them. Like get them out of here. Before we permaban you, I'm gonna give you guys a little word of advice to you. What's your name? Krookie, Cruppy, whatever the your name is. Buddy, listen. Wait, no, that's the wrong guy. Oh, that was the wrong guy. My bad, Krookie. You know what I'm saying? My bad, bro. Shit, my bad. Listen, guys, streamers should be able to have an opinion and talk about something that's just random, that comes up from something entirely different, without you guys having to create some weird fucking thing. Do you understand?
It's also true. Also true. But then what are your thoughts on Hassan? Do you think that he lives by your standards, sir?
And if that's what you thought of when I said what I said, then I'd suggest you either talk to a psychologist, or I'd suggest you maybe petition for him to get one of those, you know, pocket pussy cocks that are formed after his cock, and you put it on your seat. And in order for your computer to turn on, you have to sit on it. Let the whole 9 inches really fucking just loosen up your ass before your computer turns on. But stop doing that, okay? I give an opinion. Stop trying to fucking bring up weird shit. Fucking drama frogs, bro. On another note,
it's you know, it's hard to get again to the marrow of the bone on these issues. There's a few distractions, to be sure, but even then, you know, giant 9-inch cocks and fleshlights notwithstanding, that seems to be a bit of a conflict, by the way. But is it a cock, or is it a fleshlight, or is it both? Is it a double-ended one? So you've got the dildo on the bottom, and then you use the fleshlight on top, I assume. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so then you're just the middle part of a man train. Then in essence, it's just a good old man train, and you're just the middle part of that. Okay, well, I'm glad we got to the crux of that. But anyways, like I said, this for the most part is actually a little bit on point. I did not expect to hear that from Trainwrecks of all people, but I think that's the thing that most content creators on the left, especially once they reach a certain size, that should be what they're grappling with. At least I know that's been my current struggle, is trying to find the best road forward to combine both the entertainment aspect of this, because it is entertainment. I mean, there's a camera and LED lights. I literally have lights and a camera on right now, you know, just to try and block the true nature of my visage with just blinding light. But that notwithstanding, outside of the entertainment aspect of it, ultimately, yes, you should be wanting to use this as a tool to affect change, you know? If you had the dildo attached to the fleshlight, you could just leave it throughout and go directly for dick to ass. This is true. And this is important. This is important to the topic at hand. Yeah, definitely. Hey, do you like movies? Do you like Serfs? Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account, because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then, and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks, why do older generations believe the things they believe? One of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and VK Jehannam, we are prepared to commit human sacrifices for your eternal glory. To our monarchs, the Tim Caucus and Tom Spiker, we are humbled to be your oafish jesters, clowning around in your royal court. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Tofox, Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeff Lamb, and Alexander Thaler, we shall proudly carry your standard onto the battlefield and die for your precious land. To our esteemed Knights of the Round Table, Dark Puppy, Jenna Towell, Anna Loves Riley, Quiet 185, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, The Great Pudini, Bongini, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, J. Fraser Cartwright, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glass, we raise our swords, and we salute you.